Hi everyone, we're going to go ahead and get started. First off, we want to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to join us for a live webinar on remote ROI and why local connections create leases. We'll be diving into the benefits of partnering with your apartment's local businesses to help drive leases. There's also going to be a portion at the end for a Q&A, so make sure to write down any questions you might have as they come up. A little bit about us. Invita is a full-service digital and social agency specializing in multifamily throughout the country. I'm Avery, Invita's content director, and I'd also like to introduce my team member, Haley.
Hi everyone, I'm Haley. I'm Invita's Innovation Strategy Director. We're really excited to have you all with us. So we're going to share some of our insight, and we hope you're able to take something away from this today. So we'll get right into it. Today, we are going to cover local link partnerships. So local link isn't an official term, but it is a fun term that our team came up with to describe neighborhood partnerships. We're also going to discuss different types of partnerships that your property can benefit from, as well as how to successfully create them. And we'll also go over some useful tips and tricks to help your team execute these and run through some of our own examples of partnerships that we've managed to give you a better idea of what this can look like. And you'll hear us say the word partnership quite a bit throughout. And what that means is that it's a connection that's made between your apartment and either a social influencer or a local business on Facebook or Instagram. So something to note is that right now over 40% of influencers are reducing their normal rates by about 30% reduction. Also, the overall engagement on sponsored content on Instagram has seen a 40% increase recently. So these findings are really big benefits for potential partners, but we do want to make sure that we're strategic when developing partnership campaigns. We know that consumers are 9.8 times, almost 10 times more likely to buy after seeing a post from a peer versus a paid influencer. So that really tells us that authenticity is key. We want to make sure that the audience will be able to trust them and feel connected to them when creating a partnership.
So why local link partnerships? Well, they're creative, credible, and community-centric. Unlike a paid partnership, which is still highly effective, a local link partnership is typically a free campaign for trade, where both parties mutually benefit. This strategy can involve sharing posts on your property's Facebook or Instagram page that promote your partner, while your partner also does the same on their Facebook and their Instagram page to help promote you. So these are the kinds of partnerships that your property should be and could be benefiting from on a regular basis because of how accessible and truly impactful they are. We'll provide some tips on how to execute these at a property level later on.
So what do partnership campaigns bring to the table, and how can they result in leases? As a whole, partnerships can really help to gain exposure to new audiences that you weren't already reaching. With that added partner, you're having more reach, which means more of an audience. They really create hyper-local engagement by attracting comments, likes, and follows from potential new residents. Partnerships can help your property earn credibility through authentic and relatable content, and they really drive overall value to the brand, among a ton of other things.
So there's quite a few types of campaigns that you can put on with either a paid partner or a free for trade local link partner on Facebook and Instagram. As for the paid partnership, this usually involves a widely recognized publication, social news outlet or blog, or even an individual such as an influencer. These can yield very impressive results, but typically involve a contract, negotiation, and some type of payment. For paid partners, you may wonder what constitutes paying them. So typically, these influencers will charge you per post. So the more followers and influence this paid partner or influencer has over your community, the more that they can charge you to post about your apartment on their Instagram. Some types of free and creative campaigns you can execute include promoting exclusive resident perks. So perhaps the local coffee shop is willing to offer buy one, get one for your residents in exchange for posting about them on your property's Instagram. In turn, they'll also post about your apartment on their Instagram, which drives their following and to you. The neighborhood buzz campaign is another type, more general, get the word out type of approach, where both you and your partner agree to cross promote on another one's social. You can always tie in a giveaway as well to boost appeal and grow followers. So an example of this might encourage users to follow both you and your partner on Instagram with a chance to win a gift card. But keep in mind with these, there are Federal Trade Commission rules you'll need to abide by if you are running a promotion like this. And if you have any questions about the FTC, you can always reach out to Haley or I afterwards. But if ran successfully, in our experience, these contest types yield really great results, because who doesn't want to score a $50 gift card to their favorite local restaurant? And then there's always event awareness. So this is where the objective is to promote either a neighborhood or property event, such as a resident event, to help boost attendance.
So when you're executing a partnership, we recommend abiding by these 5 keys. So these are really important. The first one is local relevance. So ask yourself, is your partner relevant? The next one being creativity. So how does this really set apart from everything else? Making sure that you set benchmarks, if it's likes, follows, comments, setting those benchmarks ahead of time. And then the actual execution, making sure that it actually goes through. I know that sounds kind of self-explanatory, but ensuring that everything goes accordingly. And then the next being long-term benefits, so that how is this helping the property in the future, even after the campaign has run.
So want to know how to spot the fakes? We all know they're out there. Have you ever seen an influencer with 50,000 followers, but only 100 likes per post? Because we know we have. So when identifying a solid partner, you want to determine their engagement rate. An engagement rate is a percentage used to determine the actual performance or reach of their content. We discover this by dividing their total engagement, so the likes and the comments on a post, by their total following and multiplying by 100. And that's just a fun little equation to determine how you can separate the fakes from the legitimate influencers.
So we really want to help guide you on creating your own free partnership. So you can do this by following a few simple steps. So first, you'll want to identify a local and relevant partner or partners to team up with. You'll then want to determine how you're going to how they're going to help you and how you're going to help them, making it mutually beneficial. So the restaurant, cafe, fitness studio will be much more likely to team up with you if they know they're also getting something out of it. Once that's kind of clear, you've set that, you'll decide what type of campaign makes the most sense. So is it a resident perk or an overall cross-promotion effort? And then after you decide this, you can work on creative. So we recommend creating something branded with both of your logos, as well as including really clear messaging. And don't be afraid to have fun with it. You always want to stop the scroll with social posts. So having a history that's really visually appealing and visually engaging is going to be the most successful. Next, figuring out what same day or days that you and your partner will share this on. The best results come from coordinating these shares at the same time. And then don't forget to tag their Instagram handle or Facebook page and vice versa. This is really important for that cross promotion of gaining exposure for different audiences. Finally, once you have all of that, you'll want to analyze. So figuring out if the benchmarks were met, how many new followers did you get, how many calls did you get to your leasing team. Really, all in all, the local links and partnerships are an ideal way to help create buzz for the property. Especially right now with everything going on, it's more important than ever to do what we can for our community and to help promote our neighbors as well as them promoting us.
So we have a few examples of our own partnerships we manage that might help to give you a better idea of what these can look like. The Cameron is a property in Tempe, Arizona that had an existing resident discount in place with the local pizza restaurant, Spanatos. By the way, if you ever find yourself in Arizona, you have to try them, and no, they did not pay me to say this. With this partnership, so our goal was to not only get the word out about this resident perk, but also leverage Spanatos' Instagram following to help build the Cameron's brand awareness. So we coordinated with Spanatos to share this resident discount on both of our Instagrams on the same day in order to maximize reach for one another. And as a result, the Cameron's Instagram actually saw a 54% increase in total account engagements and a 31% increase in profile impressions the month that the campaign ran. So this yielded some pretty great results, and both parties involved benefited really well.
The next example we have is for One Paseo Living, which is a property in San Diego, California. So for this one, we have we identified 3 partners to create a creative campaign around. So it's 4 businesses total, and the one goal was really to create hyper-local buzz. So we created a social post as well as an Instagram story, and having that creative, cohesive Instagram post for all 4 businesses to share on the same time at the same day, and then measure the results for all the partners of the campaign. So for One Paseo, they saw 35% increase in profile impressions, 129% increase in account engagement, and 91 new Instagram followers.
So for Overture Domain, this is a 55 and up active adult community in Austin. We decided to go the paid partnership route, and it definitely worked out. We partnered with a hyper-local and highly relevant local blog, 365 Things Austin. We determined that the kind of content they published was the kind of content that our own active adult audience would resonate with, which was really important for us, because a paid partnership should ultimately be a happy marriage, and this one was. So 365 Things Austin, they did charge Overture Domain per Facebook and Instagram post because they had such a massive following, but it did work out because of all the results. So they shared an Instagram giveaway and a custom Facebook blog post promoting the property, and in turn, this resulted in several very impressive growth metrics, including 153 new Instagram followers in just 1 week. So that's an example of a paid partnership, a little bit more involved, but definitely yields great results.
So before we get into the Q&A portion, some questions, we want to invite you to join our webinar next week. So same time next week. We're here as a resource for you all and for all the leasing teams. So feel free to reach out to us at any time. And then I also just wanted to mention that we are offering complimentary setup fees for all of our plan types through the end of April if anyone's interested. And yeah, we really hope that you found this helpful. So we'll open up the Q&A portion and we'll answer any questions.
Okay, so we have a question from one of you asking about the businesses being open to doing these types of promotions now. That's a really good one. So it's all about how you position it. So you want to make sure that they know they're benefiting from it. So you're going to work out a strategy that gives them an advantage as well. And we do see that most businesses are very open to it, especially if it's a hyper-local partner. Okay, we have another one. Do you suggest partnering with one restaurant, coffee shop, or more? So I say the more the merrier if you can strategize a campaign that benefits all parties. So we've had some campaigns like the one Haley mentioned about One Paseo where, you know, it involved 4 businesses. So because of that, we had 4 times the reach, and every business received 4 times the followers and brand awareness. Not to say that a one-on-one partnership isn't still effective, but the more partners you can loop in, the better results you will have. All right, we have another one. Do you run social ads to the accounts during these pushes? So yes, that is another perk to these. If you do have social ads currently running, so you can boost. We always recommend a boost, which is a type of ad. It's basically where you put ad dollars behind the Facebook or Instagram post you're sharing. And by doing so, you're targeting a much larger audience. So that's just another way to leverage a larger reach as well. Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so we have another one. If you decide to include multiple partners, what do you recommend in terms of time in between each promotion? So that's a really good question. So of course you want your campaign to run its course. You know, you don't want to eclipse the success of one partner by jumping ship to the next one. So we always say it really depends on how stretched out the partnership is going to be. But if you're running a campaign, you know, 1 month, I would recommend running the next campaign the following month. You also want to make sure that they're different enough from one another so that you're not promoting the same offering every campaign. Can we use our existing resident perks program to do this? Yeah, so that was the example shown for the Cameron. So I'm sure a lot of your properties already have resident perks or discounts in place. And I know that usually those are shared internally. So when a resident moves in, that's kind of a selling point for them, you know, the discount at the local coffee shop or whatever that may be. But you can leverage those perks by continuing to partner with that retailer or vendor or store. And because you already have that partnership developed with that coffee shop or whoever it may be, they're more likely to continue helping you to promote on Instagram and Facebook. So definitely look into those first, see what you already have access to, and then go from there. These are all awesome questions. And of course, if anything comes up later on, you can always reach out to us. There's a lot involved with these partnerships, and some of these questions come up as you're navigating the conversation with the partners too, because it's so case by case. Do we have any other questions? All right, well, I apologize the audio wasn't 100% in the beginning, but hopefully you were able to hear the responses to the bulk of those questions. Oh, okay, we have another one. So right now, physical fitness is a major issue with COVID and gyms being closed. Have you had any success with physical fitness companies? Yes, actually. So that is a really good point, especially with everything going on right now. Residents are limited. You know, not everything is open, but I'm sure a lot of the gyms in your area are offering virtual programs. So we have had some experience with partnering with those gyms or fitness studios and being able to provide those virtual options to our residents. And in turn, those fitness studios or gyms are able to post about the apartments. So then you're cross-marketing the two audiences while also providing your residents with a great alternative. And that's the thing too right now with the current situation. It's more important than ever, like Haley mentioned, to partner with your local neighborhood. You know, people are struggling right now, and there are lots of takeout, dine-in, or not dine-in, but takeout options, delivery, virtual programs. So you can still develop these partnerships and just strategically, you know, promote the alternative offerings. So it's a great way to support your community. All right, well, these were all fantastic questions. We really appreciate you all taking the time out of your day to walk through this with us. We'll be sending this out afterwards as well, so if you missed any of it, you can rewatch it. Feel free to send it on to anyone else you think might benefit from this or take something away. And as Haley mentioned, we hope to see you at our next one next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Open all the doors and let you out into the world. Closing time. Turn all of the lights on over every boy and